So all we needed today for the Packers to get this number 1 seed was for the Cowboys to lose, which got checked off first, and all we needed was the Packers to come in here and beat the Vikings at Lambeau Field, which we just accomplished, beating the Vikings 37-10, which now means we are officially the number 1 seed in the NFC, even though we still have 1 week to play. We have the one bye in the NFC, and the playoffs will be going through Lambeau Field. So this is, a pretty exciting day and a nice way to start the year now that we're in 2022. And, just to look back to the beginning of the year in this entire offseason with the entire, Aaron Rodgers situation, when we weren't really sure, is Aaron Rodgers going to be playing in Green Bay or are we going to, not have Aaron Rodgers this year? It's crazy that it's gone from that entire, spectacle of what was going on back then to now with just the way Aaron Rodgers is playing, potentially, going to win his, second MVP in a row. The way that this Packers team just in general looks, it's pretty exciting that we're 13-3, potentially going to be 14-3 after next week versus the Detroit Lions. And the Packers we're in a great position right now. The offense is playing great. Aaron Rodgers is playing lights out. The defense struggles at times, but they still, I think, have, lots of talented players and have lots of, potential in the defense as well. So it's a pretty exciting day that, everything happened as it should, as we wanted it to. I wasn't sure if the Cowboys were going to lose that game. Before it started, obviously after we know the result now. So luckily they gave us a little gift today. And now too, with the Packers clinching this number 1 seed, clearly now we can rest Aaron Rodgers because of course his toe has been bothering him. So I would assume Aaron Rodgers is going to rest this next week. Obviously, I don't know that for sure, but that is what, I would assume to happen for Aaron Rodgers, which means he can now rest his toe for 2 weeks in a row. So it'll be basically 3 weeks of resting his toe. So he can come in there healthy for the playoffs. And now as well, we have a few weeks. Hopefully, David Bakhtiari, Jair Alexander, maybe Zadarius Smith come back for the playoffs. We'll see. We'll see if that happens. But it's an exciting day. Packers have clinched that number 1 seed. And now just to take a little bit of a look at this game here versus the Vikings. Clearly, I think with Kirk Cousins, not playing in this game as a starter and having Sean Mannion coming in here, I didn't think the Vikings had, that much of a chance. And I thought, the only way they potentially do is if they can run the ball because, of course, with a running back of the talent of Dalvin Cook, he obviously is one of the better running backs, I'd say, or has been one of the better running backs in the NFL. But if we take a look at the stats today, for the Vikings offense, Sean Mannion, 22 of 36, 189 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions, and 84 rating. And then the Vikings rushing stats, pretty terrible. 11 carries for the Vikings, 27 rushing yards. Dalvin Cook had 9 carries, only 13 yards, averaged 1.4 yards per carry. So for a Packers defense that last week versus the Cleveland Browns gave up, 200-plus rushing yards, and then also struggle versus the Ravens, to come in here and shut down Dalvin Cook as they did. The Vikings couldn't really get the run going whatsoever. But then also you add in the fact that the Packers offense was moving the ball a lot. Aaron Rodgers played great. A.J. Dillon played great. And the Vikings really, couldn't rely on the run just because of, when you're down by that many, you clearly can't just run the ball. So the Packers were able to come in here and pretty much shut down the Vikings on defense, with the Vikings only scoring 10 points in this entire game. And then moving on to the Packers on the offensive side of the ball, Aaron Rodgers, 29 of 38, 288 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, a 114.8 passer rating. And then one thing in this game that just typically, as it always happens, Davante Adams and Aaron Rodgers, their connection, it's like you're in some video game, you put in a cheat code and exactly what they want to happen happens. Because there's so many plays where Aaron Rodgers just throws it in. Davante's just it's just insane the connection that they have. And it makes sense, all the years that they've had together, all the chemistry they've built up, and with Davante, being probably the best wide receiver in the league, Aaron Rodgers being the best quarterback. Clearly their connection, just what they can do together is honestly just incredible. It's fun to watch every single week. So Davante had 11 receptions, 136 yards, 1 touchdown. And then Allen Lazard had a solid game, especially with that one nice touchdown catch. Aaron Rodgers basically just threw it out to him. He goes up there, grabs it. He had 6 receptions, 72 yards, and 1 touchdown. And so, great game overall from those guys. And then A.J. Dillon came in here, 14 carries, 63 yards, averaging 4.5 yards per carry, and 2 touchdowns. And, one thing about having A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones, the fact that we can just, hand the ball to A.J. Dillon, he just plows over people. I would never want to, ever have to be anywhere near him when it comes to trying to tackle that guy. So he had a great game here. And Aaron Jones as well, only had 8 carries, but he had 76 yards. So Aaron Jones averaged 9.5 yards per carry. So I think for this Packers team, they have so many different ways that they can beat you on offense, with Aaron Rodgers, of course, being as good as he is. But then you throw in the fact that we have Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon, 2 guys who can just just completely destroy you. Aaron Jones, with that speed, that breakaway ability. A.J. Dillon has that as well, but, mainly that power that he has is just, it's hard to stop this team. And then one other thing about today that was a little bit, nice to see. In the past week, the Packers did sign David Moore, wide receiver from the Seahawks, a guy who used to be on the Seahawks. And he was there returning kicks and punts, and he had that one punt return. I think it was maybe around 20 yards, and I think I saw someone say that it was the Packers' longest punt return of the entire season. So he provided a little life in that area, and hopefully he can continue to do that because the Packers really, haven't been great on special teams this year. So it was nice to see him add a little bit of a spark, at least on that one punt return. So overall, a great day. Packers now sitting with the number 1 seed. It's a great day to be a Packers fan. And now maybe even next week, we probably, with Aaron Rodgers, I feel like most likely not playing. Maybe he plays, I doubt it, but we probably get to see Jordan Love come in next week, which is exciting. I just like Jordan Love as a person. He just seems like a humble guy who's, doing all he can to be the best they can be. And, we'll see what happens in his future, if it's with the Packers, if it's not with the Packers. And, I wish him nothing but the best. But it will be fun to see him if he can, come in here next week and play versus the Lions and sort of see what he has to offer. He did play a little in this game, went 2 for 4, 19 yards. And he had one other rush. I think it was he had 2 rushes for 9 yards as well. So we may get to see some Jordan Love action next week, which is always exciting to see because you don't exactly know what you're going to get, but it's fun to see, him develop a little bit as well. But that is basically everything I want to cover in this video. So thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate it. We are the number 1 seed in the NFC. Feels nice. We can sit back, relax for the next few weeks. Then we get to, get riled up for whoever we play in the first or, in our first playoff game, which will be exciting. And I will be covering everything for the Packers on this channel. Packers news, updates, rumors, all things Packers. So if you want to see that throughout the playoffs, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, drop a like on the video. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.